Hi, Elson. This is our sound check. I just want to say hi. Hope you're doing well. Brendan's putting his headset on. Oh, Jeff's here too.
Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 57.31.
I hear some low music. Cams look good. Thank you. I did that myself. Just kidding. It was all Brendan. I actually didn't do any of them. Wait, no, that's not true. I did this one. Here comms check as well. Woo! Thank you, Jeff.
Do you want to set up a hotkey for booth?
Did I want to do what?
Do you want me to set up a hotkey for booth?
No. Both
Yeah.
sounding good. Yay!
And if you're ever worried about the pitch clock,
If that is the case, I will get rid of my voice so you can
home plate umpire,
continue waiting for this game to start in peace.
If they
We'll
get
probably.
really pissy.
Oh, if just a quick question: do you need cloud graphics on our end? I'm seeing. No, we don't need that. We were told to add it, and then we added it, and then I realized that that was happening. So one is coming from us, so it should be on all of our camera angles. But if you want to put us live on the doohickey wonker, technical term, we'll probably start talking at 6:55. So if you just wanted to flick us live at like 6:54, that would be absolutely stupendous. Can you hide yours? Yeah, I can hide mine. I just have to click a button. Okay, they should be gone now. Copy on the 6:54. Woo! I appreciate you, Jeff, and all the work that you do.
Can you just turn me down so people don't hear me chewing?
That's all we want, Brendan. I'm actually going to turn myself down, too. Thank ya. Cool. Check, 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 check. Ah! Check, 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 check. There it is.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, I burped. Straight into it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in here to another edition of Northern Colorado Owls Baseball. Brendan Price alongside Ben Shoemate. And the Owls, Ben, tonight looking to do something they've only done one other time this year, and that is a 5-game winning streak after coming out with a 13-6 win yesterday.
Yeah, and a 5-game winning streak. Doesn't matter when it comes in the season, it's a good thing, but it's also super good to have it coming out right at the start of the second half. Get off to that hot start and really initiate that playoff push here early in the second half.
The Owls 6-4 in the second half of the season. As we mentioned, a 13-6 win last night for Northern Colorado. They jumped on top of Joe Slocum and the Chukars early, getting a 7 spot in the first inning. They were up 10-2 after 2, and from that point on, Ben, Brandon Kaminer and the Owl bullpen shut down the Chukar offense once more.
Yeah, Brandon Kaminer did a great job. He gave up those 2 runs in the first inning, but after that, 5 innings pitched, just 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 runs in total while he was out there. But a great outing from him. Excellent to see from him, considering his last start didn't necessarily go as planned. To see him eat up some innings, pitch really, really well, and really take control of the ball game after he gave up the lead early. It was great to see him kind of lock down, especially after the Owls offense went, all right, let's go. We're going to get you a crooked number in the first inning. We're going to go back out there in the second inning, grab more runs. And it was just all around great support. Offense supporting the defense, defense supporting the pitcher. It's good baseball.
And good baseball indeed for this Northern Colorado side. They find themselves 1 game behind the first place Rocky Mountain Vibes here in the second half coming into tonight's ball game. 6-4 rather are the Owls. 7-3 are the Vibes. And you know, Ben, we talked a lot about last night the success, and because of that, you've got the capability and the ability to move some of your starters around, and the Chukars are doing that tonight with their starting lineup.
Yeah, for the Chukars tonight, leading off will be Mark Herron Jr., followed up by Rob Paller. C.J. Dunn will be the DH batting in the 3 spot. Michael Cohn will be batting cleanup. Trevor Halsema will be behind him, followed by Tyler Wyatt. We've seen him all over the field. He'll be at second base tonight and batting in that 6 hole. Stephen Cullen will be behind him, followed by Anthony Frechette back behind the plate again tonight. And Brandon Boning, who has done pretty much everything possible against this Owls team in the series, will be batting 9th.
And that is the lineup facing 25-year-old right-hander Jose Diaz, the Pinar del Rio product, making his 17th start of the year, his 17th appearance rather, 6th start of the year. The right-hander has been moved back into the rotation, and so far, his last couple of starts, the Vibes, who have seen him a lot this year, knocked the right-hander around a little bit more than you would have otherwise liked to have seen.
Yeah, for Jose Diaz this season, the 1-4 record with a 10.10 ERA in those 16 games. He's thrown 43 2/3 innings pitched over the 16 games he's appeared in, and during that time, he's kept the walks to a minimum at 29 walks, but 70 hits against him. That's a pretty high tick for the number of innings he's thrown, so his mission coming out here for this one, probably the same as it was for Brandon Kaminer last night, locked down early, and just trying to eat up some innings. His last time out, he threw 3 1/3, 4 1/3 before that. So if you can see 4 strong from Jose Diaz tonight, I think that'll be a huge win for the Owls in this one.
Yeah, and you mentioned Diaz trying to get back into form in the rotation. We talked about that earlier in the series, where the 4 and 5 spots in the rotation for Frank Gonzalez and the Owls have been a little bit more fungible, especially here in the month of July. We've seen Jose Diaz, Chase Jesse, and Brandon Kaminer kind of in and out at the back of that rotation. But tonight, it's Jose's turn to try and get the Owls off to a good start, looking for a 5th consecutive win. We'll step aside for the national anthem when we return. First pitch tonight at Future Legends Field on a beautiful Saturday night in Windsor. The Chukars and the Owls, Game 5 of this 6-game series about to get underway. And Ben, before we went to break, we talked about the Chukars starting lineup, and for the Owls defensively behind Diaz, a few changes from last night, including a man getting his first start of the series.
Yeah, Josh Glenn's going to be back behind home plate, and Danny Perez will be back at first base. Tim Bouchard will be at second, and Nick Michaels at third. Peyton Robertson, the guy we've come to expect at shortstop, will be there tonight with Henry George in left, Dave Matthews in center, and Estevan De La O, like you said, getting his first start in right.
Yeah, Kevin Jimenez getting the night off tonight, and I'm sure the Chukars are probably big fans of that, the way he blistered Idaho Falls pitching last night. And, you talked about Diaz before we went to break, Ben, wanting to get 4 strong from the right-hander. And the big key, and we've talked about this throughout the series, has got to be using all of the pitches in his arsenal to really fool these Chukars hitters.
Yeah, he's got a 5-pitch mix, a fastball cutter, so those can be used a little bit interchangeably with a slider, changeup, and a curveball. So a good mix of speed and a good mix of action on his pitches. And like you said, if he's able to get all of those pitches working, it's going to be dangerous. But I think even if he has that fastball cutter working and he's able to work in that slider or that changeup, I think that 1-2-3 punch is also going to be dangerous against this Idaho Falls Chukars lineup.
And the first pitch from the right-hander, in for strike one, right down Broadway with the fastball at 92. And we are underway at 7:04. We even snuck this one in 60 seconds early. Heron Jr. a swing and a miss. He's quickly in an 0-2 hole. The outfielder had last night off. He's 1 for 6 with a walk and a strikeout in the series.
Any guesses on first pitch temperature?
Ooh, can I take 76? It feels pretty cool tonight.
This one's telling me 79. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll go check my other one.
Heron Jr. swing and a miss. Uno dos adios. He's down on strikes to start the ball game. 1 up, 1 down for Diaz here in the top of the first.
Yeah, if you're Diaz out there on the mound and the coaching staff in the dugout, that's what you like to see out there from Jose Diaz. His last time out, he was able to notch 3 strikeouts in that 3 1/3 innings pitched. So getting his first one out of the way here early, that's a good start.
And on the first pitch, Paller, a slow ground ball to first. Perez will call off Diaz. He'll take it himself to the bag. And 4 pitches and 2 outs for Diaz here in the top of the first. It's good for a very wide grin if you're Frank Gonzalez and the Owls staff. Designated hitter C.J. Dunn will step in.
Yeah, it's hard to get much better than that. You set the first guy down on strikes on just 3 pitches. And then 1 pitch later, you got 2 outs.
C.J. Dunn, 4 for 13 in the series with a solo home run. That was back on Tuesday. Had some tough luck in last night's game on Thursday night rather. Was 1 for 4 and a couple of broken bats. And here Dunn lifts a fly ball, chases Matthews back, track, wall. It's over the 400 sign, and it's a solo home run for C.J. Dunn. It's his 5th of the season and 2nd of the series. And the Chukars, 6 pitches in, have jumped on top 1-0.
Well, a couple of peaks and valleys here in this first inning. 2 quick outs, and then you give up the bomb to dead center.
428 feet, the estimated distance on the home run from Dunn. And Diaz, man, he is really rearing back and firing here in the first inning. 93-94 on the gun for the right-hander. Normally sits in the low 90s. And it's quickly 0-2 to Michael Cone, who had the night off yesterday. Cone is 0 for 11 with 2 walks and 5 strikeouts in the series. And here fights off an 0-2 pitch. Look out. Straight back. It came off the screen and nearly popped Cone on the top of the noggin.
Gotta have eyes in the back of your head with the chain link fence behind you.
Curveball, ring him up. Diaz gets Cone looking to retire the side. A couple strikeouts, but the Chukars have the lead on a C.J. Dunn home run 1-0. Idaho Falls on top, headed to the bottom of the first. Meadow Gold Dairy is farmer-owned and community-loved. 83 family-owned DFA farms and more than 100,000 cows supply your local Meadow Gold Dairy. Thank you for supporting your local dairy farmers. Color Pro, the Northern Colorado Owls and future legends, print with the pros at Color Pro Printing of Fort Collins. They make your vision a reality. Check them out at colorproprint.com. Left-hander Dylan Gatto taking the mound for the Chukars tonight. And Ben, with a typically lefty-heavy lineup, this will represent a different challenge for Northern Colorado tonight.
Yeah, facing the lefty, we've seen it this series where against a right-handed pitcher, the Owls have pushed out 7 lefties in a row in their lineup. But with the lefty out there, they're going to stroll out with just 4. Henry George, Dave Matthews, Tim Bouchard, and Danny Perez. And leading it off, we've seen Henry George do that all the series. We'll get Peyton Robertson here tonight.
First pitch from Gatto to Robertson, in for strike one on the outer edge. Gatto, 24 years of age, making his 6th start of the year. 1-2 this season with a 7 ERA. That's right at league average. As Gatto misses down and in for ball 1 to Payday. Who has been mentioned, we've seen regularly in the 2 slot in this series. He moves up in the order tonight. Tough ball game last night for Robertson. 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts, a walk, and a hit by pitch. Still got a chance to work his magic on the bases, though. 2-1, and Robertson flies a pop-up into shallow right field. Halsema drifting to his right into the gap. He'll make the catch for out number 1. Defensive alignment for the Chukars behind Gatto. Michael Cohn at first, Tyler Wyatt at second, Brandon Boning at short, Stephen Cullen at third, Rob Paller in left, Mark Heron Jr. in center, the aforementioned Trevor Halsema in right field, and Anthony Frechette doing the catching. First pitch to Henry George, misses outside for ball 1. He can't be a leadoff extraordinaire, but he's still extraordinary, Henry George.
Yeah, for George, just the 5th time this season he's batted in the 2 spot. But he's been so excellent in this series. So let's give him just another opportunity to bat with somebody on base.
Here, George takes a off-speed pitch that misses well outside for ball 2. And you talked about that excellence in the series. George 10 for 19 with 5 extra base hits, 5 runs batted in. Takes the fastball up and in for ball 3. 2 walks, 9 runs. He is making a very good case for Pioneer League Player of the Week. He keeps this up. 3-1. George takes a fastball up and away, just misses from Gatto. And it's a walk for Henry. So with 1 away, he'll trot down to first with the free pass. And that'll bring up Dave Matthews.
Yeah, Dave Matthews a night ago, 4 walks, which is a excellent night at the yard for most people, but Dave Matthews is a man who likes to hit the baseball.
And he does so in bunches. 8 for 17 on the homestand. First pitch, Matthews, a high chopper to Cone at first, and he's going to try and get to the bag. Matthews with the slide head first into the bag, and Cone able to beat him by a millisecond. Cone almost got caught in no man's land going to second, elected to go back to first instead, and Matthews very nearly beat that out.
Yeah, Matthews running very quick up the line. It's a bang-bang play. It's hard to tell from up here.
First pitch from Gatto to Guadalupe. Slow roller, Boning charges it short, gets the ball across the diamond, and that will do it for the bottom of the first. A one-out walk, stranded at second. 1 inning complete, 1-0 Chukars on top. Halsema, Wyatt, and Cullen due up in the top of the second for the Idaho Falls Chukars. Have a 1-0 lead thanks to the solo home run from C.J. Dunn in the first inning, as Halsema will get his first at-bat of the ball game. First pitch from Diaz, a slider, clips the outside corner for strike one. Halsema in this series 2 for 12 with 4 runs batted in. And he's quickly behind 0-2 as Jose is really rearing back and firing tonight, as we mentioned in the top of the first. He's got a little extra sauce on the fastball. 0-2 goes with the off-speed. Curveball misses in the dirt. And it's 1-2, the count to Halsema. 278, 4 home runs, and 37 runs batted in this year for the Chukar right fielder, who takes a cutter outside, evens the count 2-2. And here in the 5th game of the series, Idaho Falls has scored first for the 3rd time, as a curveball from Diaz misses down low for ball 3. So the Chukars have been able to score early and get themselves in front against this Owlz side. It's just been a matter of holding on to the lead that has been the struggle. The payoff pitch from Diaz. Halsema lifts the fly ball to right field. De La O jogging towards the line. He'll make the play. 1 up, 1 down on the F9 in your scorecards at home, as Tyler Wyatt will get an opportunity to hit his first of the ball game. Wyatt last night was 1 for 3 with a walk and an RBI. Had a double in the first inning. Plated the Chukars' first run of the ball game. Idaho Falls was up 2-0. Headed to the bottom of the first, and then the Owls exploded for 7. As Wyatt takes the same pitch, a slider outside for strike 1 and strike 2. Right-hander Diaz gets the sign, kicks and fires, and a fastball misses up and away for ball 1. And, Jose started off the year in the rotation, and first couple of starts were very tough. Moved back to the bullpen and put together a number of very good outings as the long relief swing man. earned himself a spot back in the rotation. Went 3 1/3 last Sunday against the Rocky Mountain Vibes. Ended up getting a loss as Wyatt lifts a fly ball foul out of play down the left field line. And that ball was clean out of there, presented by Breeze Through Car Wash. Well, Jose gets the sign on 2-2 and delivers a 59-footer for ball 3. And for the second time in the inning, a full count. Wyatt batting .261 coming into the ball game. 5 home runs and 29 runs batted in. And the payoff pitch, a fastball that misses up and in, and Wyatt draws the one-out walk. You're in the top of the second inning. And that'll bring up Stephen Cullen. Batting from the right side and playing third base tonight. He was on the other side of the infield last night over at first when he went 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Diaz gets ahead of Cullen 0-1. Cullen in this series is 3 for 15 with 3 RBIs and a home run. When he gets a hit, it's plated a Chukar runner. Terrific jump by Wyatt at first. Glenn's throw down behind Bouchard and into center field. Wyatt will get an extra 90 feet on the play. It's a stolen base and an E2. So Wyatt moving to third with 1 away. The count 1-2. Now to Cullen. And here Diaz fires a slider that's fouled straight back by Cullen. And infield still playing back for the Owls here as Cullen holds up on the swing. The appeal down to first. A no swing ruled by the first base umpire. Counts even at 2-2. And now the Owls will bring the infield in. 2-2. Diaz uses the slider. Gets Cullen swinging. Third K of the night already for the right-hander. And a big second out here on the top of the second for Jose Diaz and the Owls. Anthony Frechette will step in. Frechette was 0 for 2 with a couple of walks last night. Starting at catcher for the second straight day. Takes a pitch just below the knees for ball 1. Frechette 1 for 8 in the series with a solo home run. He and Hunter Hudson, who has the night off tonight, have split duties behind the plate through the first 5 games of this series. Diaz shakes off the first sign he gets from Glenn. Kicks and fires out of the stretch. Fastball misses up and away. Frechette in the driver's seat ahead 3-0. We'll see if Dave Clark gives him a red or a green light here. Diaz, the get-me-over fastball at 93, clips the outside edge, and it's 3-1. Owls trying to strand another run at third as here Frechette draws the walk. Diaz aiming for the outside corner and missed. Second free pass of the inning. And there are runners at the corners and 2 away for arguably the man that has been the most dangerous chucker in this series in Brandon Boning. Boning in the series has been very good. Takes the first pitch ball up and away. 6 for 13 with 4 extra base hits, a home run, and 4 runs batted in. He has been cleaning up in the number 9 spot. And he takes strike 1. Thank you very much. Down and away to even the count, 1-1. Boning raising his average up now to 242 entering play today. 1-1. Cutter misses down and away, and it's 2-1 from Diaz. Yeah, 2-1. Diaz will check Frechette over at first, who slides back in. That's the B-minus pickoff move from Jose. Jose gets the sign. 2-1. Frechette's on the move. The throw down from Glenn, and Frechette is tagged out between first and second, and he can't believe it, but hold the phone, everybody. Frechette got caught. It looked like maybe the umpires were going to have a discussion. It appears not. It's a caught stealing to retire the side.
Well, what happened was they were going to see, since it's not a force play, if the run scores before he's tagged, the run counts. However, he was tagged before the runner crossed home plate. So that's what he was signaling. He was signaling no run.
Well, there's Ben helping us out as always. A little more information before we head to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Chukars on top. Conduct All Electric offers full electrical services for residential, commercial, and industrial, as well as 24-hour emergency services for all of their clients right here in northern Colorado. Bouchard, Perez, and Michaels due up against the left-hander Dylan Gatto in the bottom of the second. 1-0. The Chukars have the lead. And Bouchard takes a first pitch changeup for strike 1 at the bottom of the zone. Tim last night, 2 for 4 with a solo home run. A couple of runs batted in, continuing a very nice series for Bouch. Here, Bouchard, a fly ball to left field. That's sending the man back to the track, and just in front of the wall, Rob Paller makes the catch. Sounded good off the bat, traveled 353 feet. The downside is the power alley at that point's about 355 feet. Oh, Danny Perez will step up, getting his first at bat of the ball game. And he'll take a first pitch curveball for strike 1. Danny 3 for 9 with a double and 4 walks in the series. Takes a slider, and he's quickly in the hole 0-2. Jackson Coots left the ball game injured last night. And he's got the night off tonight. Extra day to rest for the big fella. As Gatto skips a fastball in, or maybe a slider, and it's 1-2. Perez trying to get the Owls offense cooking. Fastball up and in, just missed inside to even the count. 2-2 to Perez. Came into the ball game batting .369 with 9 home runs and 38 runs batted in. Fouls one straight back here, stays alive to see another offering from the left-hander Gatto. Gatto gets the sign from Frechette out of the windup. Misses down and away, and Perez, after falling behind 0-2, has worked the count back full 3-2. Payoff pitch. Perez, fouled that one off right up into the kisser. And he's going to have to double check, make sure everything's okay, as Frank Gonzalez and the athletic trainer will come out to take a look at Danny. He caught that one right on the mouth.
Anybody have to see that game today when the guy caught one right in the face?
Yeah, was it the Cardinal? No.
Oh, Perez shrugs off the assistance. He's going to give it a go here. It's never a good place to hit the ball off yourself. That's one of the worst. Payoff pitch from Gatto. And Perez will dribble this one foul. He's got one of them professional at-bats going here with one away in the bottom of the second. Gatto's 3-2. Perez will lace that ball foul down the left field line. And he will see a ninth pitch in the at-bat. Time called by the Owl first baseman here. This is what makes Perez so good, so effective in the middle of the Owls order. 3-2 on the way from Gatto. And Perez pulls one down the first base line. A nice sliding play by Cone to grab the grounder and touch the bag himself at first. 2 up, 2 down for Perez, who at minimum was able to work Gatto just a bit. 10-pitch at bat will bring up Nick Michaels. Michaels making his second start of the series. First pitch, and Michaels, a slow dribbler past Gatto up the middle, scooped by Wyatt, and then Butterfingers as he tried the transfer to get the ball out of his glove. And it's going to be an infield single. As Josh Glenn will step to bat with 2 away. Josh had the night off yesterday. First pitch from Gatto to Glenn. Hacking away. Tied up on the off speed, down and in for strike 1. Josh started on Wednesday. Went 1 for 4 with an RBI base hit and a walk to extend his hitting streak. The 0-1 from Gatto to Glenn. Curveball in for strike 2. Glenn, as a catcher, appears less than impressed. You know he'll be waiting for that in the top of the third. 0-2. And Glenn chases a slider downstairs. He strikes out on 3 pitches, and that will do it for the bottom of the second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on base by the Owls. 2 innings complete. It's the visitors who have a 1-0 lead. Loveland Laser Tag has the biggest laser tag arena on the Front Range. Plus, they serve delicious food, draft beer, and unlimited fun every day. Come eat, play, and tag at LLT, Northern Colorado's premier entertainment center. Brandon Boning leading off the top of the third. His at-bat ended with the caught stealing from Frechette. We'll get another look at Diaz. Takes the first pitch slider for strike one. And here a slider wrapped to short. Robertson will collect it, gather and throw. He's safe. Perez had his foot come off the bag ever so slightly. He tried to get the foot back on the bag and was able to do so, but by that time, Boning able to get across the bag at first in a photo finish. An E6. The second error of the ball game for the Owls will put the leadoff runner aboard here in the third. For Mark Heron Jr., who struck out on 3 pitches first time around, he'll step away from a fastball that misses up for ball one. 1-0 from Diaz to Heron Jr. Goes right back to the fastball. Swing and a miss for strike one. And the right-hander, Diaz, has what we call a live arm. Can really sling it. And out of the stretch for the second time in as many innings. And now he'll check Boning over at first. Gets back. Again, that's probably the B pickoff move. Not the B minus, but certainly not his best. 1-1 from Diaz. Boning's on the move. Glenn's throw down is perfect. A 2-6 caught stealing. Boning cut down. Glenn, one of the best in the league in that regard. Run on him at your own peril. One away.
What do you call that, a ball?
2-1 the count to Heron Jr. Now it's 2-2 as Diaz once again able to pump the fastball past the Chukars center fielder. Diaz gets the sign, kicks and fires. Heron Jr. backs out of the way of a slider that misses down and in. And that will run the count full. 3-2. Bases empty, one away after the caught stealing. Heron Jr. swing and a miss. He's down on strikes for the second time tonight. 4 strikeouts now for the right-hander Diaz. And there's 2 away in the top of the third. Power didn't get much chance to talk about the 30-year-old first time up. He grounded out to first on the first pitch he saw. Making his second start of the series. 2 for 4 in his first start on Thursday. First appearance of the series was not in the field. He threw an inning of mop-up duty in the 8th on Tuesday. Gave up a couple of runs in a franchise record 24-run outburst for the Owls to open this series. The 2-0 from Diaz, and Power shoots this into left center. Matthews was shaded that way, and he'll make the catch on the line out to retire the side. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and nobody left on base. 2.5 innings complete in Windsor. 1-0 Chukars have the lead. Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers proudly serves cooked-to-order steak burgers, Vienna beef hot dogs, shoestring fries, and frozen custard that is freshly churned throughout the day. Freddy's is honored to partner with future legends and the Northern Colorado Owls to serve the Northern Colorado community. De La O, Robertson, and George due up 9-1-2 in the Owls batting order. Still staring at a 0 in the run column, and for the Idaho Falls Chukars, that is a very good thing to see, as after 2 innings on Tuesday, they were down 8-1. After 2 innings on Wednesday, they were down 5-0. Yesterday, they were down 10-2 after 2 innings. So a 1-0 lead, they'll take it. Headed into the third as De La O takes the first pitch strike. Stev batting 1,000 in the series, 2 for 2. Check that, 2 for 3. He's batting .666. Forgot about that ground out in the 7th last night. 0-2 curveball misses downstairs. De La O was selected by the Owls at last year's midseason tryout camp. Got an invite to spring training this year and made the team. Takes the fastball down and away and evens the count 2-2. The midseason tryout camp just finishing up today in the Pioneer League here at Future Legends Field. 2-2. And that misses outside, and it looks like De La O works the walk. We had to count all sorts of backwards up here in the press box. That happens from time to time. At least I can say that it wasn't me. And Peyton Robertson will step into the batter's box for the second time tonight. Payday popped out to right center field first time up. And De La O over at first base, very fleet of foot. Gatto's first pitch out of the stretch misses inside to Robertson for ball 1. .1-0 from Gatto. He's peeking at De La O off of first. Oh man, Gatto is asking where exactly that missed.
It's a valid question.
He's not wrong to ask, I don't think. But, you know, we've seen it. Sliders and curveballs at the top of the zone in this series have tended to work in the batter's favor. De La O on the move. A terrific throw down the swim move from De La O. He tried to lift up that front foot to get around the tag. Instead, it's a caught stealing. And there's one away as Robertson takes ball 3. And as base stealing goes, Stev didn't get a terrific jump there as Robertson takes a get-me-over curveball for strike 1, which is rare. That's typically an area that Estevan does very well on the bases, getting good reads, as Robertson takes a curveball down and away for strike 2, and the count full. Payoff pitch from Gatto. Misses down and in, and Robertson works the walk. Oh, he is on first base with one away. And if Stev is a threat to run, Robertson almost feels like a guarantee to run a lot. And you know Gatto will be paying attention to the thieving exploits of Robertson over at first.
Yeah, and this is the exact reason that you do kind of...
There he goes. Oh, terrific throw down from Frechette, and he gets Robertson. You can count on one hand the number of times that has happened this season.
Yeah, the throw came in a bit high from Frechette, and the tag was down. It's a bit, obviously we're very far away from the call, so there may be gaps and nuances that are going on that we don't always see, but with Robertson's speed and the fact that that throw is a bit high, that's a bit hard to be like, yeah, that was clearly out.
Quickly 0-2 to Henry George. So the Owls 2 walks and 2 caught stealings in the inning. 0-2 from Gatto to George, misses down and away. And when I said I could count the number of times Peyton Robertson has been caught stealing on one hand, that is just the second time in 42 attempts this year that someone has cut down Robertson. Frechette might want to keep the ball as a souvenir, and Henry George, a single to right field. That is 17 consecutive games with a base hit. And Ben, if it wasn't for the base stealing, this could be a completely different inning right now.
Yeah, we saw this a few nights ago where thankfully the Owls were leading in that game, so some of the base running decisions didn't really affect the outcome of the game too much. But here, when you're trailing a run in the third inning and you've kind of run yourself into 2 outs already without any outs coming from the batter's box, it's a easy point to start to wonder what may have happened had we not.
In an alternate universe, the bases would be loaded with nobody out. Instead, it's George off of first with 2 away. 1-0 from Gatto to Matthews. Up and in, does Matthews offer? They'll appeal down to second. He does not. And it's 2-0 to Dinger Dave. He's been slightly bereft of dingers as of late. That's something he's certainly keen on changing. And on 2-0, chases one down and away, fouls it straight back for strike one.
Yeah, I think that's an instance where Dave knew he probably should have let that one go. Kind of reacted to it afterwards. He let his swing get a bit long to slow down for the breaking pitch. Lefty on left, it's going to run away from you, so it's a hard pitch to adjust to.
Here, Matthews jammed, and it's a slow roller to Wyatt at second. They'll lob the ball over to Cone, and that will do it for the bottom of the third. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. 1-0. The Chukars have the lead over NoCo. 3 innings complete. Becker Safety and Supply has you covered from head to toe. They provide industry-leading products and services to help keep you safe. Located in Windsor and Greeley and online at beckersafety.com. Jose Diaz has been good through 3. The Owl offense at the moment hasn't provided any support. 1-0, the Chukars on top. And C.J. Dunn is the man that has been the difference. A solo home run in the first inning. A 1-0 pitch from Diaz to Dunn, misses down and away, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, you want to talk about only making a single mistake. It's the only hit that Diaz has given up, as that one's bounced back up the middle.
Oh, Peyton Robertson makes that play look way too easy. Ranging to his left, cuts down the angle up the middle. Gets the ball over to first in time for out number 1 here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, Peyton Robertson is something special to watch over at shortstop. If you're a kid watching and you want to know how to field the shortstop position well, just watch Peyton Robertson. Come out to Future Legends, get your binoculars, train them on him for the entirety of the game.
2-0, the count to Michael Cohn, the Chukars first baseman, who's 0 for 1 tonight with a strikeout. And as we mentioned, sometimes you just don't have series that go your way. Well, Cohn looking to change the narrative, lifts a fly ball to deep right field. De La O back in front of the Meadow Gold sign to make the catch for out number 2. And you mentioned it, Ben, thus far, Diaz just the 1 hit allowed out on the hill. And you talked about getting 4 strong from the right-hander. And 3 2/3, he's only thrown 48 pitches. He's got 4 strikeouts, only 1 walk. This is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, I may have sold him a bit short in the pregame. Why stop at 4 strong?
Yeah, just keep the ball rolling.
Just keep going.
A 1. Make it 0-2 as Diaz quickly powers ahead of Halsema. And the right-hander a strike away from setting down the Chukars in order. Fastball misses up and away. Yanked it just a touch. But since it's 0-2, we'll call it a waste pitch. And it's 1-2. Halsema rolls a ground ball. Bouchard Michaels, ranging to his left. He'll get that across to Perez. And the Chukars are down in order in the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. The Owl offense looking to get going. They trail 1-0 headed to the bottom of the 4th. DBAT Norco, located in Windsor, is the premier public indoor baseball and softball facility in northern Colorado. They offer cage rentals, camps, clinics, and private lessons to all ages all year round. Visit dbatnorco.com or download the DBAT Hub app for more information and swing by sometime soon. The Owls partnered with DBAT Norco to do a kids camp earlier this week. Very well attended, very fun, but also very hot.
It was great. They taught me a lot. The kids did.
First pitch from Gatto to Guadalupe, swung on and missed for strike 1. I don't even know that a fundamentals camp like that would really help me all that much. 0-1 from Gatto. Look out! A broken bat that travels further than the ball, able to scoop up. The ball is Cullen on the infield. It's a $100 ground out for Wada. And there's 1 away in the bottom of the 4th. Watch yourself out there. And, I just want to say it's been a long week for everybody. Our assistant general manager, Harrison Shapiro, had to help with the tryout camp as well. And you know what? Good for him. He's stimulating the mind down the stands. He's got the crossword going down there. Bouchard stepping in for his second at bat of the ball game. It's far better than doodling, I think. Look out.
Ooh.
That one almost glanced off the back of Bouchard. That was a 75-mile-an-hour curveball that slipped.
It had all the ball and none of the curve.
1-0 from Gatto to Bush, and Tim fouls that off down the left field line. That ball was clean out of there, presented by Breeze Through Car Wash. 1-1 from Gatto. Change up, just missed at the bottom of the zone. 2-1 to Tim. Bouchard over at second base tonight. And he takes a curveball. The 1-1 pitch looked a bit better than the 2-1 pitch. All evens out in the wash, and the count even 2-2.
And yeah, you mentioned Bouchard getting the start over at second as he slices that one down the line, but it will be tracked down on the run out in left field by Rob Powler. That's an excellent play down there. For Tim Bouchard, you mentioned it getting the start at second tonight, but his defense at third base. We often talk about Peyton Robertson over at short. Tim Bouchard at third has been excellent in this series, made a number of great plays yesterday, and has been excellent at the hot corner this year.
Danny Perez, 0 for 1 tonight, worked a 10-pitch at bat from Gatto first time around, and he takes the first pitch fastball up and away. And, second time through the lineup, and for whatever reason, Gatto is topping out at 86, 87 on the gun, and I wonder if the left-handedness, along with that slower velocity, is really messing with some of the timing of these Owlz hitters. They just haven't created any good contact through 3 2/3. Perez takes a breaking ball down and away, and he's in the driver's seat 3-0.
Yeah, that's something that happens, I think, more so than baseball players will like to admit. Well, they'll see a guy warming up who maybe not have the velocity that they're used to, and they think, hey, we got this, as Perez draws the walk. And then they'll get up to the plate and realize quickly that they may not have it as well as they thought. The change in velocity it affects people differently. Sometimes you're geared up for something hard, especially in a league like this, and when someone's a bit slower in velocity and just locates pitches well, you have a hard time adjusting to that.
Nick Michaels stepping in, 1 for 1 with an infield single. He'll take a first pitch strike on the inside half. 2 for 7 with a home run and 3 runs batted in the series for Michaels. His first home series with the Owlz. Joined the team prior to last weekend in Colorado Springs. Here, a wave and a miss at the fastball, and it's 1-2, or 0-2, excuse me. So he'll take his obligatory 2-strike timeout, and I get my obligatory 1 count wrong per game here in the broadcast booth.
I'll take the punch out of your punch card.
After 10, what do I get, a batter off? How does that work?
I'll buy you a coffee.
Perfect. Hey, we'll take it. Beggars can't be choosers up here in the booth, I tell you. 0-2 from Gatto to Michaels. Misses inside for ball 186. That represents the ceiling so far for the left-hander when it comes to velocity in this outing.
It's a live 86, though. He's getting roughly the same spin on his fastball that Diaz is, who's touching 94.
And that one gets away from Frechette. Perez will scamper to second. Will move himself into scoring position. That's just the second time tonight that the Owlz have put a runner in scoring position, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, opportunities have been fewer and farther between for the Owlz. So with 2 strikes and 2 outs and a runner on second base, we're getting a timeout called now. We're going to dust off the plate.
I appreciate the home plate umpire. He said, that's too much for me. I'm just using the foot. Not even going to break out the brush.
No reason to. I'll just
swipe some pellets off of home plate. It's fine.
That's all it takes. Yeah, for the Owlz, with 2 strikes and 2 outs and a runner on second, and when this represents one of the better opportunities you've had thus far, it kind of tells the tale of the game you've had, at least at the plate.
Michaels takes a changeup down and in, and after falling behind 0-2, the 27-year-old from Redlands, California, has worked the count back full. Payoff pitch on the way from Gatto to Michaels. And Nick will put this one into left field, a base hit. They're going to try and score Perez from second. The throw cut off by Cullen. He doesn't go to the plate. It's an RBI base hit for Nick Michaels. And the Owls, with some two-out thunder, have tied the game at 1 apiece in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, Anthony Frechette called for the cut to second, but by the time the ball got to the infield, Michaels had stopped at first, so the ball cut off there, allowing Perez to score. And hey, it doesn't matter if it's 2 strikes with 2 outs and a runner on second. That's your best opportunity, and the Owls cash in, tying this ball game up here in the bottom of the 4th. Now let's just start the game all over again.
Josh Glenn hacking away at the first pitch. He struck out on 3 pitches in his first at-bat. Trying to take a deep breath and get comfortable back in the batter's box. 0-1 from Gatto. Catches the outside corner, and it's 0-2.
Glenn on the season came into this one batting .294, so just south of that 300 mark. 1 for 4 in the homestand. Also drew a walk.
Takes a 58-foot breaking ball for ball 1. That was all in his start on Wednesday. Brings a 4-game hitting streak into the ball game, so trying to extend it. Time called by Frechette. Very nice crowd tonight here at Future Legends Field. It's a wonderful way to spend a Saturday night. As Glenn, a slow roller, Gatto off the mound, will pick it and fling it over to first in time to retire the Owl catcher. And the side. Noko gets a run thanks to the RBI single from Nick Michaels. They strand a runner on base, 4 innings complete. 1-1, tied up. Noco Party Bus is Northern Colorado's #1 luxury transportation service. Book them for all your transportation needs. Noco Party Bus is a fun, safe, and reliable way to travel. Top of the 5th, and for the second time in the series, Ben, we've got ourselves a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel.
Yeah, coming on the heels of an excellent offensive output last night. And what do you know? Look at this, 1-1 going to the top of the 5th. And for Jose Diaz, let's just keep that party bus rolling, as it were.
That's how you know we're in the zone here in the broadcast booth. We can keep working the reads into the inning.
Yep.
Rocking and rolling.
I've been studying your reads.
First pitch, Wyatt pops it up foul out of play down the first base line onto the concourse for strike 1.
I pay attention to what you say. I know what's going on.
Every now and then.
Yep.
It's only because he doesn't really have the option to mute the headset.
Oh, I do.
Oh, you just haven't taken advantage of it yet.
No, I haven't.
Diaz misses inside to even the count 1-1. Well, one of these days, you could have your own broadcast. It's like our version of the Manning cast, except it's the Shoemate cast.
I think technically I could make you not go out over the broadcast, but you still be able to hear you. so you wouldn't even know.
Perfect. 1-2 from Diaz, misses up and away for ball 2. It's almost unfair because I wouldn't notice. That's the thing. I would just be minding my own business up here, calling the game, and then I get home and, somebody be like, hey, where were you on the broadcast? As Diaz gets Wyatt to swing and miss and a slider downstairs. 5 strikeouts for Jose, and there's 1 away in the top of the 5th. Yeah, I wouldn't have any idea. And I don't know that anyone at home would be like, oh, man, we really missed him.
It would just be me answering what you're saying with no context.
Everybody at home gets half a telecast.
I listened to half the game last night. No, the first half, second half? No, just the whole thing. But
Just one half of the conversation. 1-0 the count to Stephen Cullen. Diaz gets the sign and fires. Works it past the Chukars third baseman for strike 1. Cullen struck out on 4 pitches in the second inning. 1 of 5 punch outs for Diaz so far tonight. And in his starts, that ties a high. Most strikeouts he had in a ball game was in a relief appearance. That was against Grand Junction earlier this season. And he's quickly tied up Cullen in a 2-2 count.
yeah, and as we are currently through 4 1/3, he's matched his last outing. Or I'm sorry, he's matched his outing on the 18th against the Vibes, where he went 4 1/3. Had 8 punch-outs in that game.
Cullen fouls the 2-2 straight back. And I think the folks are getting into a rhythm with the Kazoos.
We have some Kazoos.
Got the added burst after Diaz had released the pitch. 2-2. Fastball up and away, misses for ball 3.
The emphatic Kazooing spreading through Future Legends Complex.
As a hitter, I would hate that. Absolutely detest that. Payoff pitch from Diaz. Cullen, sinking line drive and a base hit into left field. He didn't hit it hard, but he dropped it in a shallow left field. Just the second hit of the ball game for the Chukars. They have not had a hit since C.J. Dunn's 2-out home run in the first inning, as Anthony Frechette steps to bat. I think my favorite part about the Kazoos is not even the 2-strike aspect of it, but it's the folks that use them to just make as much rambunctious noise as possible every time else that they can.
I mean, that's why you come to the ballpark, to make as much noise as humanly possible.
Absolutely. See, I'm glad you understand that.
Yeah.
0-2 to Frechette. That was my whole argument for a weekend trip with my wife to Colorado Springs this weekend so I could watch the Owls play on the road. And she's not wrong in that she said, how is it going to be any different than when you broadcast a game? And I said, well, I could cheer.
Yeah.
And I could just watch the game, right? I'm not going to make her suffer through that, though. 0-2 from Diaz to Frechette. Fastball up and away. Yanked it, and it's 1-2.
It is fun because we like to attend baseball games. We'll head down to another one here next week.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, we do slide into kind of just our roles that we do here.
Much to the chagrin of the folks around us.
Exactly.
As Diaz.
Ooh. That one missing just high and inside, apparently.
I think he was penalized for a cross-up there. When a catcher, Glenn, I don't think received that perfectly. And I use air quotes around that. 2-2. And Frechette lofts a deep fly ball to right center. De La O settles under it and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. All's well that ends well.
Yeah, it just took a pitch longer, but ultimately a similar outcome. Get the fly ball out to right.
Brandon Boning will step to bat. 0 for 1 tonight. reached base on an E6 in his first at bat. Throw from Robertson was just a touch high at first. Pulled Perez off the bag, and here Diaz ties up Boning with a first pitch strike. And man, low to mid 90s up and in on the hands is no fun. You have to start that swing so early to have any chance of making any good contact.
Yeah, and if you make poor contact in on the hands, well, it's not going to feel very good for the next couple innings, especially when you're out there. Well, I almost said he's not rocking batting gloves, but he is, now that I take a better look at it.
They're bat-colored batting gloves.
I know, that was...
They blend in.
If you're watching along at home, I'm basically watching a smaller version of what you're watching, so it was kind of hard for me to tell.
2-1, Boning flies that out of play and onto the concourse. That foul ball was clean out of there, presented by Breathe Through Car Wash. Right-hander Diaz a strike away from putting up another scoreless frame. The 2-2. Boning a liner right at Nick Michaels at third. That's why they call it the hot corner. And a half inning over. No runs, one hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. Halfway home in Windsor. 1-1 tied up. It's not too late to get that degree. University of Northern Colorado Extended Campus has online degree completion programs. Check out extended.unco.edu for more information and put your career on a winning roster.
Sco Bears.
Well, after the former UNC Bear Josh Glenn ended the last half inning, it'll fall on Esteban De La O to lead off here in the bottom of the fifth, followed by Robertson and George. Stev 0 for 0. Drew a walk in his first at bat and then was caught stealing. Part of a pair of caught stealings in the third. First pitch from Gatto. And De La O, a ground ball to third. Cullen will collect it. Look out, the throw is high. It glances off of Cohn's glove. And that is an E5. De La O is safe at first, but he is clutching over, and I wonder if the throw or Cohn on the way down might have clipped De La O's hand, as he appears to be in some discomfort at first base.
It's a tough one because anytime you have to go high over at first base, you naturally end up turning a bit as you're receiving the ball, and what can happen is you can, as you field the ball, kind of come down and try and make the tag if you got pulled off and end up elbowing or running into, inadvertently, of course, the runner heading up the line.
Well, and that's even more true as Robertson bunting at the first pitch, and Cohn went for the bare hand diving grab and foul ground, and he nearly made the catch. Instead, it's strike one. And what I was going to say there, Ben, is that's even more true as Cohn, who is a lefty, catching with his right hand, having to reach back towards the runner rather than maybe if you're catching that left-handed, you're reaching away from the runner.
Yeah, exactly. And He is the righty, and traditionally, or he's the lefty. That's traditionally the handedness you'll see over at first base, at least historically, just because it opens you up towards the infield when you're.
Here, Robertson lifts a fly ball to left. Powler moves back 2 steps and makes the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, you'll see lefties over at first base for the same reason you won't see a lefty over at third base. You're more open towards the field as a lefty over at first base. And then, like you said, him reaching over, having to turn his body to make that play.
Henry George getting his 3rd at bat of the ball game. He's reached base twice, a walk and a single. And he takes a changeup down the way from Gatto for ball 1. And the left-hander Dylan Gatto, 58 pitches so far through 4 1/3. He's worked around 4 walks.
You can see Stephen Colon playing halfway at third base, anticipating bunt.
George takes, and it's 1-1.
George, he didn't fully square around on the first pitch, but he saw his top hand kind of move up on the bat as the ball was coming in.
Well, here I wonder if you're Henry, you might try and shoot one into the left field corner. Ooh, fastball in on the hands, and it hits George on the hand. He'll head down to first with a hit by pitch. And the Owls have runners at first and second with 1 away for Dinger Dave.
Yeah, you got an opportunity with the runner on second and 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Now you got runners at first and second with just 1 down in the middle of your lineup up. Dave Matthews, who's 0 for 2. Definitely looking to get back to Dave Matthews' ways. No better time for him right here.
First pitch, and Matthews, a liner into shallow center, and it's going to fall on a hop, and it's going to roll past Heron Jr. all the way to the wall. This will score 2. Matthews is careening into third with a stand-up triple. And the Owls have jumped on top 3-1.
Yeah, for Dave Matthews, that's a hard hit ball into the gap. And that's a little bit of Dave Matthews getting back to Dave Matthews' ways. Hard contact into the gap. Driving in 2, getting yourself a triple. You love to see that if you're Frank Gonzalez.
Well, the Chukars bring the infield in with 1 away. Wada takes a curveball down and in for ball 1. Abdel 0 for 2 tonight. A couple of ground outs, both to the left side of the infield. And the 1-0 misses inside. He kicks the front leg out of the way, and it's 2-0.
I think it's funny. We've been talking about Dave Matthews getting a lot of walks, not necessarily having the power numbers in this homestand that we usually come to expect from him. He's 9 for 20 this series.
Guadalupe fouls the 2-0 pitch straight back. He just missed that. It's 2-1. He's 9 for 20, and on top of that, Ben, with the 2 RBIs on that triple, Matthews now up to 10 runs batted in on the homestand. Run-producing machine.
Oh, and by the way, 5 walks.
2-1 from Gatto to Guada. And that ball is sinking, and it'll fall in front of Halsema. Matthews will come on down and score. And the heart of the Owls order converting to 3-run 5th inning and counting. 4-1 Northern Colorado on top.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we've seen this Owls offense do all series. Yeah, they've had some pop. They've had good power numbers this series, but it's been a lot of station to station. Just get a guy on base, work him over, and get him in. And it's been very effective in the first now 5 games of the series.
As pitching coach Bob Malachy will come out and take the time to chat with the left-hander Gatto, who this is the first time, and this is the 3rd time through the order, right? Those splits go up, and this is the 3rd time through the order for Gatto, and you wonder if the Owls are finally starting to time him up a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. We talked about a little bit how it can be tough when you aren't expecting, or you're geared up for something faster than you're getting, but it doesn't take long to adjust. It's a difficult thing to adjust to, but you get a few at-bats in, and you start feeling more and more confident as the game goes on.
Tim Bouchard 0 for 2, 2 flyouts, both to left field tonight. First pitch from Gatto to Bush, and Tim will take. And strike one. Bouchard loves the ambush. So you wonder here if he just wants to wait for a better pitch to hit.
It's a reverse ambush. They think I'm going to ambush, so I'm not.
Here he takes the changeup down and away, evens the count 1-1. Abdel standing off of first base. After his RBI single that plated Dave Matthews, the third run of the inning. The 1-1. Bouchard right through the 5.5 hole. Base hit in the left center field. Guadalupe advances 90 feet. Tony Gwynn would be proud. And there's runners at first and second with one away.
Yeah, like we said, station to station. Get on base and let the guy behind you move you over. And the Owls right now, they're a baseball team that is truly playing as a team. Everybody counting on the guy behind them to do their job. And it's paying dividends in this series.
Danny Perez, second at bat of the night. Walked on 4 pitches last time. Takes the first pitch curveball for strike one. Oh, Perez, I'd love to see him drive something into the gap here. A 1 from Gatto. Curveball in for strike two, this time on the inside portion of the plate. The Owls 1 in the fourth and 3 so far in the fifth against the left-hander Dylan Gatto. The 0-2 from the left-hander. Perez rolls this ball foul into the Idaho Falls dugout.
Good play down there.
I didn't see who it was that. It might have been Daniel Silva who made that barehanded grab. Yep. He's chopping it up on the dugout rail. Hey, guys, look what I did. 0-2 from Gatto. Perez, broken bat. That ball is falling fast, boning over the shoulder with his back to the infield, making the grab in left center field. That's a second wonderful play on a pop-up. 2 days in a row for Boning. And, you know, we talk about it at the plate. He has had himself a series all the way around.
Yeah, he's had a great series at second. We saw a couple wonderful plays by him last night, kind of running over behind third base to field a dropping fly ball. Makes another play right there behind second base. And yeah, he's been all over everywhere if you're keeping track of this game on a scorebook.
First pitch curveball to Nick Michaels, misses down and in for ball one. Gatto gets the sign. Out of the stretch, delivers. And Michaels, a screamer. Fair ball into the left field corner. Guadalupe will score. They're going to try and send Bouchard. He's screaming around home. It's an RBI double for Michaels. The question is, will they make Bouchard return to third? Frechette is asking about that, as is Dave Clark. It was a fair ball. The ball was, I think, declared unplayable down in the corner. And Dave Clark with a long conversation with the home plate umpire about whether or not Tim Bouchard should have to return to third base or not. He was over halfway home, but he had not scored yet. And Bouchard does indeed have to return to third, so it's an RBI ground rule double for Nick Michaels. He's 3 for 3 tonight. And I wonder if Dave Clark was just talking about the fair foul. That ball was a bullet just inside the third base bag.
Yeah, it was hooking towards foul territory, but with the diving play over at third by Stephen Cullen. It's a bit hard to tell because you're trying to watch the ball, and then there's a guy diving in front of the ball, and then it's a bit difficult to pick up. You kind of just have to trust your intuition.
And Josh Glenn pings the first pitch foul for strike one. Josh 0 for 2 tonight. Swinging strikeout in the second and a ground out to the pitcher in the fourth. Man, if there was a time for him to extend his 4-game hit streak, this would be it. With 2 ducks on the pond at second and third and 2 away. 0-1, Glenn fouls that off the outside of his right leg for strike 2. But the Owls offense getting the right-hander Jose Diaz some support with a 4 spot here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Glenn, the 9th Owl to hit. Gatto wants Frechette to run through the signs again. And Josh will take his 2-strike timeout. Oh, 2 on the way from Gatto. Glenn rolls one over to short. Boning will collect it. The throw off balance is in time to get Glenn over at first and retire the side. Noco gets 3 runs. They do it thanks to 4 hits and error, and they leave 2 runners on base. Heading to the top of the 6th. That's a brand new ball game. 5-1, the Owls lead. Fit NoCo, located just a couple blocks west, is a healthy on-the-go option for Windsor, Colorado, and its surrounding areas. They serve healthy meal replacement shakes, energy and metabolism-boosting teas, and protein coffees. Their goal, to make our community healthier and happier. And I will tell you what, Ben, the Owl community happy with Jose Diaz through 5 innings.
Yeah, Jose Diaz has been phenomenal in this one. We said at the top of the broadcast, let's get 4 strong. Jose Diaz said, well, here's 5, and I'm going to come out in the 6th and try to add on more, and that's exactly what he'll do here. He's going to face off against the top of this Chukars lineup. Mark Herron Jr., the center fielder, to lead it off. He's 0 for 2 tonight.
2 strikeouts on the account for the Chukars center fielder. And here he chases a changeup for strike 1. It's a different look. Jose has favored the fastball and the cutter against Herron Jr., but 3rd time through the order, you've got to mix it up.
Yeah, and that's where having those 5 pitches will come in handy. You can get through the first 2 times in the lineup with only a couple pitches.
It's a tough play, and Herron Jr. is out at first base. Great work from Diaz to cover the bag. A photo finish. And I wonder, truthfully speaking, if the replay center might have overturned that. Looked like Herron Jr. beat it, but he is out for out number 1.
Well, the replay center would have to have angles that we don't have.
That is very true. They probably would, too. They've installed some secret cameras in the turf they didn't tell us about.
And we're not allowed to use them.
Check swing by Paller. He goes around for strike 1. We've come a long way this season. We've got our 3 cameras. They're up and rolling. Got them out from behind the chain link fence and everything.
We had 4 cameras today.
We did. We've integrated booth cam.
We thought, you know what? Face reveal episode.
Yeah. As Paller fouls this off, and it's 1-2. Yeah, we thought you guys have heard enough from the disembodied voices. Now, if you show up to the ballpark, you can pick us out of a police lineup.
It's because I got a haircut.
I did too, so we're feeling very
we
fresh.
got haircuts, and we're like, you know what?
1-2 misses outside, evens the count 2-2. And I just want to say, I've been up here in the NoCo area for 5 years now, and the advice I got from my parents was, you want to have a good doctor, good dentist, a good mechanic, and a good hairstylist. Paller, a ground ball. Diaz almost picked it on the backhand. Robertson picks it on the bare hand. Anything you can do, I can do better, says Payday. 2 up, 2 down.
Excellent defense up and down. It was like we expected to get one amazing play out of Diaz, and then Robertson said, hey, watch this. This is cooler.
It's like when you think you're going to get one goldfish out of the bag, and then it's 2 that are melded together. A high chopper to Michaels at third. And the Chukars down in order in the 6th. Jose Diaz, he's in Vegas right now. He is dealing through 6. Bottom of the 6th. The Owls had a lotto gatto through 5, but the Chukars have gone to the bullpen as Jorge Gonzalez will take over in relief. The final line for Gatto, he goes 5 innings, allows 7 hits, 5 runs, walks 4, and strikes out 1. Currently on the hook for the loss if nothing changes. And Esteban De La O, who led off the 5th inning and got on base courtesy of an E5. We'll try and keep the offense moving here for the Owls in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch from Jorge Gonzalez. Swung on and missed by De La O for strike 1. The right-hander making his 8th appearance of the year, 0-0 with a 6 earned run average. He's thrown 15 innings this year. A right-hander making his 2nd appearance of the series. And he's ahead of De La O, 0-2. Threw 2 1/3 and allowed just 1 run on 5 hits. That was on Wednesday night. Came on and finished out the 5th, pitched the 6th, and part of the 7th. 0-2 from Gonzalez to De La O, and Esteban, defensive swing, pokes it foul above the Chukars dugout to stay alive. Stev 0 for 1 with a walk, and as we mentioned, reached on on an E5 in the 5th inning. The 0-2. Stev, a check swing foul ball. Straight back. Bat Boys getting some work in. And they're wearing the gray no-coat jerseys, the Road Threads tonight. Gonzalez gets the sign from Frechette. The 0-2 delivery out of the windup. Misses up and away. Stev back in the at-bat, 1-2. Grand Junction, a 2-1 lead on Rocky Mountain in the top of the 7th. And a win by the Owlz tonight. And then a loss by the Vibes would even up the standings at the top of the South Division, with both teams at 7-4. But a lot can happen between now and the end of those two respective ball games. The 2-2 from Gonzalez misses low and away, and Stev, after falling behind 0-2, has worked to count back full. Oh, Gonzalez, who did not walk a batter in his first appearance of the series on Wednesday night, fires the payoff pitch, and he walks De La O here. Oh, Stev works his second walk of the evening, and the lineup card will turn over for Peyton Robertson. Payday getting the signs from Robbie Bales. Brought back to the coaching staff this year. He was the interim manager last season. Took over for Corey Snyder at the end of June. Robertson squares to bunt, pulls it back. The back pick from Frechette pulls Cone off the bag towards the first base coach's box. De La O back in safely and ahead 1-0. 1-0 from Gonzalez to Robertson. Payday a swing and a miss for strike one. Evens the count. Robertson popped out to right in the first, walked and was caught stealing in the third, and flew out to left field in the 5th. Gonzalez with a check on De La O, who scampers back to the bag at first. Jorge Gonzalez making his second appearance of the series. The 1-1. In for strike two on the outside corner. Robertson watching. Gonzalez a long look in at Frechette. Out of the stretch. The 1-2 delivery. De La O on the run. Robertson, a slow roller to short. Boning will pick it. He has to hurry the throw to first. Robertson lightning fast down the first base line. Thrown out, but with De La O in motion, prevents the double play. And there's a runner on second. And one away for Henry George. King Henry has reached base in 3 of the 7 ways you can tonight. A walk, a single, and a hit by pitch. That's a different sort of cycle if you get to first base 7 times in all 7 different ways in a game. That can't have ever happened. That's I don't think that happens in the Pioneer League. You don't have extra innings here. Maybe at the Major League level. 0-1 from Gonzalez to George. Down and in, misses for ball 1 to even the count. See, walk, single, hit by pitch, error, drop third strike. Catcher's interference. I'll need Ben back up here for the last couple. I know we've covered this territory on the broadcast. George takes ball 2 low. But I've got the memory of a goldfish up here. That's what the scorebook is for. 2-1 from Gonzalez to George. A curveball and a beauty just missed inside, and it's 3-1. Oh, Henry in the driver's seat here. 5-1, Owls with the lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Gonzalez gets the sign, kicks and fires, and George fights this pitch off, foul down the left field line. Oh, King Henry here in a full count with one away. Gonzalez gets the sign. The full count payoff pitch. George flies that foul out of play. Putting together a very nice at bat here in the number 2 hole. With Dave Matthews waiting in the on deck circle. The RBI machine here in this series. Gonzalez once again trying to get George out here with one away and a runner on second. And Henry rolls a ground ball to wide at second. He'll get it over to first in time to set down George. De La O advancing to third on the ground out. So with 2 away, Dave Matthews will get a chance to hit. Matthews had an RBI triple to right center field last time up. It plated 2. Gave the Owls a 3-1 lead at the time. Or check that, a 2-1 lead. My apologies. First pitch from Gonzalez. Curveball misses down and in for ball 1 for Matthews. Gonzalez trying to work around the leadoff walk. The 1-0. Misses down and in, and I don't know that Gonzalez is going to give Matthews much to hit here.
Yeah, you got a guy on third, so you have first base open. You do have the clean hole hitter up on deck.
In the form of Abdel Guadalupe. 2-0 to Matthews. Fastball in for strike 1 as he rears his head back skyward. Didn't love that call. Hitters will never love a wide zone east to west. Gonzalez delivers out of the stretch on 2-1. Misses up and away. It's 3-1. And here on a 3-1 count with 2 away, it's time for everyone's favorite childhood game, red light, green light.
Well, it will also be entertaining to watch Dave Matthews' reaction to another walk.
It's likely to spike his bat onto the concourse. 3-1 from Gonzalez. That was a healthy swing just over that pitch, and that'll run the count full.
Yeah, that's one of the better pitches to hit Dave Matthews I've seen this entire series. Great eye at the plate. Like you said, just swinging over it. He got excited.
Yeah, his eyes lit up on that pitch. It's kind of the same way my eyes line up when I see a plate of bacon that's unclaimed on the kitchen counter.
Unclaimed bacon.
Absolutely. It's got to be crispy.
Oh, you're a crispy bacon guy?
Absolutely. Payoff pitch from Gonzalez. There's the curveball. Matthews rolls it over to Cone at first, who will take it to the bag himself and retire the side. The right-hander works around a leadoff walk. 6 innings complete. 5-1 at Northern Colorado on top.
Welcome back to Future Legends Field here in northern Colorado. We asked for 4 strong from Jose Diaz. And here in the top of the 7th, after 6 terrific innings, Jose Diaz has been absolutely rolling in this one. He's going to face the 4, 5, 6 batters in this one. Michael Cone, Trevor Halsema, and Tyler Wyatt. Cone is 0 for 2 so far as he strides to the plate here in the 7th. He'll swing and miss. Had a fastball on the outside corner. And Cone may have, he's going to take his timeout. Bit of an awkward swing for him. He's going to clutches, looked like his right hand after that swing.
Yeah, and he's gripping, I think, what appears to be his thumb, but he is certainly in some discomfort. Well, and Diaz, and my apologies if I missed this here, but a season-long start now.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the excellence, but enough can't be said. 80 pitches through 6 innings, 6 plus as he's thrown 1 pitch here in the 7th, and they're still checking on Cone. On the swing, it looked like a bit awkward of a swing as he kind of reached out last minute for the pitch.
Long conversation with Dave Clark and the trainer, and Cone is headed to the dugout, so that'll be all for the first baseman tonight.
Yeah, you never want to see that. That's unfortunate for the first baseman, unfortunate for the Chukars as they lose their cleanup batter. But also, of course, beyond that, just making sure that Cone is okay.
Well, and the challenge even there, too, for Cone and the Chukars is those hand and thumb and wrist injuries can happen so innocuously, and they can knock you out for so long.
Mm-hmm. And it's one of those persistent injuries. It takes a while to heal fully.
Yeah, because you have to use your hands.
Exactly.
It's not like a bad shoulder that you can just go, oh, don't throw for a while. Don't sit for a while. Don't text for a while.
Looks like it's going to be Eduardo Acosta who's getting ready in the on-deck circle, taking a couple warm-up swings.
And I wonder if what that may mean is Wyatt will shift to third in the bottom half of the inning. Cullen will move to first and Acosta to second. Seems like a pretty natural defensive alignment if you're Dave Clark in Idaho Falls. So Acosta will take over behind 0-1 in the count. 1 for 4 last night with a single and a walk. 3 for 12 in the series.
He's going to take strike 2 as he inherited the strike that was thrown to Michael Cone.
Diaz misses down and away for ball 1. And this is the 3rd time in 5 games in this series that the Owlz starter has worked into the 7th inning. The 1-2. Misses down and in for ball 2 and evens the count. Diaz snapped that glove back after he caught the return throw.
Yeah, a good frame job from behind the plate, but that one does miss low on the TrackMan strike zone.
Slider misses outside. Glenn trying to bring it back in. And it's a full count. So Acosta will take the obligatory 2-strike timeout. Or is it technically a 1-strike timeout for him?
That's a good question.
He's introduced a wrinkle into our system, and we don't know what to do. Payoff pitch from Diaz. Acosta fouls that back to the screen. That's what it's there for, ladies and gentlemen. It's good for a couple of folks trying to reflex catch each game. Payoff pitch again. And a foul tip off of Glenn's glove. pounds the fist into the glove. A little frustrated he couldn't come away with that, help his pitcher out. That's a tough play.
Yeah, catchers will often be upset when they miss a foul tip held, but it's such a shot in the dark, always trying to field those ones. That one misses low and outside for ball 4, barely missing the low outside corner on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. So a great job by Eduardo Acosta to kind of come in down in the count and not only work the count full, but draw the walk, and manager Frank Gonzalez is going to head out to the mound.
Gonzalez out there. We'll see if this is a change. It is a pitching change. Jose Diaz done after 6+, and he was phenomenal. The Owls go to the bullpen. We'll step aside. Better health begins with healthy cells. Whether you're focused on anti-aging, immunity, hydration, or weight loss, the Drip Bar in Johnstown can help you achieve your health and wellness goals. Visit today for 25% off your first trip, located at 4834 Larimer Parkway in Johnstown. The Manhattan Beach, California product, Nathan Draves, will take over here in the top of the 7th inning. And the 24-year-old, since joining the team, has been outstanding.
Yeah, outstanding indeed. He's thrown 8 innings for the NoCo Owls, and he has an ERA just over 3.38 as his first pitch. This is way high and outside, and base runner will move up to second base, so Acosta to second on the wild pitch. He has an 0-1 record in the 7 games that he's appeared, but other than that, he's been terrific. 11 strikeouts in those 8 innings, just 1 walk, a fastball slider changeup mix, and his last time out through a scoreless inning on the 25th.
Here misses inside for ball 2, and that scoreless inning that Ben talked about back on Tuesday. It was a scoreless 6th inning where he allowed a hit and struck out 1. One of the growing number of former Rocky Mountain vibes on this roster as he gets the slider in at 90 miles an hour for strike 1 to Trevor Halsema, who is 0 for 2 tonight with a fly out to right and a ground out to third. The 2-1 from Draves. This is inside. The crowd of 694 did not agree, but it is the home plate umpire on the field who gets that call, not the paying spectators and assorted staff in the stands, and it's 3-1. Halsema fouls that straight back, and that will run the count full. Acosta standing off of second after drawing a walk and advancing on a wild pitch. He's still Jose Diaz's responsibility. 3-2 Halsema. Fly ball to deep left field. George on the run. Racing into the left field corner. Makes the catch for out number 1.
Great running play by George in left. Normally we see him out in center, but getting the start in left tonight, he's had quite a few of those in this series, and He shows that no matter where you write his name on the lineup card, he is going to go all out, make some excellent defensive plays.
You know, I had a basketball coach once. He said, defense travels. Doesn't matter what position you're in. Doesn't matter where you're playing.
Isn't that a foul in basketball?
What?
Traveling?
No, it's just a turnover.
Oh.
No, I mean travels as in the verb, like to go somewhere.
Gotcha.
Not in the basketball sense of walking with the basketball. A one from Draves. Wyatt tied up. Fouls that onto the concourse, and that foul ball was clean out of there. Presented by Breeze Through Car Wash. Well, Draves trying to strand that inherited runner. Misses up with the fastball for ball one, and another one of those live arms out of the Owl bullpen. They have got a number of those.
Yeah, and you mentioned the growing number of former Rocky Mountain vibes that are coming over to this Owls squad.
Look out! Wyatt strikes out in more ways than one. He swings and misses at the fastball and loses his bat north of the Owls dugout. An emphatic K for Nathan Draves. That's how you know you fooled somebody good.
Just cutting to that camera to make sure it still exists.
I saw the flight path. It was well beyond the cameras.
Okay, good.
We're in good shape there. Cullen steps in, 1 for 2 tonight. And he takes at the top of the zone for ball one.
It's been a tight zone, north and south, but occasionally wide east and west.
1-0 from Draves. And Cullen a fly ball to center field. Matthews starting in, and he'll make the catch. And Nathan Draves comes on and strands the leadoff walk. 7th inning stretch time at Future Legends Field. 5-1 Northern Colorado on top. Want to relax and enjoy a delicious cocktail made with locally distilled, award-winning craft spirits? Try the Heart Distillery, a 21 and up establishment just off of 392 in Windsor. Their handcrafted cocktails are the perfect way to unwind after a game. Head on over to the Heart Distillery for a one-of-a-kind experience. Jorge Gonzalez first pitch, and Walla reaches out and fouls that off down the right field line. Foul for a first pitch strike. Abdel 1 for 2 tonight. Grounded out to short in the first, grounded out to third in the fourth, and singled in a run to center field in the fifth. The 0-1. Wada reaches out, flies another ball off into the construction zone. You can see the skeleton of Ticket Smarter Stadium in the distance, the home of the Owls next season. Get to move into the big stadium next year. Capacity over 4,500. As Wada takes a curveball for ball one. Here, Future Legends Field this season, the temporary home of the Owls. Seats 1,750, almost 1,800. If everybody squeezes in and gets real comfortable. Wada calls time here. Gonzalez gets the sign and delivers. Fastball misses upstairs, evens the count to Abdel 2-2.
Make sure you make your way out to Future Legends if you haven't already, and if you have already.
Come on back.
Come on back. We have Zoo Time Kazoos back in stock.
Yeah, we do.
And candy, I hear, in the press box.
2-2, Wada fights that off foul. See, that's how we know we're in good shape. We got the regulars doing the reads for us, too.
Mm-hmm. Breeze through car wash read with that foul ball.
It's a fan favorite. I've got 3 of my 4 in tonight. I got one more. As Wada well out in front of the curveball from Gonzalez. First strikeout of the day for the right-hander. 1 up, 1 down in the bottom of the 7th. And Tim Bouchard steps into the batter's box. Here on this Saturday night, I would be remiss if I did not wish a happy trails and a good luck to former Greeley Tribune staff writer Jaden Watson-Fisher. Is moving out to Raleigh. Keep jumping the rungs on her career. Did an excellent job covering the Owls over the last couple of seasons. Always a fun presence to have here in the press box. Her last day was yesterday. And I would be remiss to not provide that shout out to her. As Bouchard takes strike 1, even the count 1-1. And I will say that in many a way, the next person on that beat has some very big shoes to fill.
That is very accurate indeed.
1-1 curveball misses down and in for ball 2 to Tim Bouchard, who's 1 for 3 tonight. We tried to work in a doubleheader or a 4-hour game for her last beat last night. Didn't work out that way.
The rain tried, and it just didn't work.
Bouchard broken bat, base hit into right field. Acosta tried to throw it in, and it's going to be an error compounded as it goes into the Chukars dugout. Oh, it's a single and an E4 that puts Bouchard in scoring position with 1 away.
Yeah, realistically, that's a play that you just have to put in your pocket if you are fielding that ball. A great job to get there by Acosta over at second base, but realistically, he had no chance of getting Tim Bouchard, so.
Yeah, and the tough part is with the angle, that ball straight into the Chukars dugout, and for Acosta, I don't know that he could do that again if he tried.
Yeah.
From that angle to punch it right into the corner of the Chukars dugout on the near side. First pitch from Gonzalez to Danny Perez. Misses inside with the fastball. And Danny ahead in the count 1-0. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run tonight is the Owl first baseman. One-0 from Gonzalez to Perez. A three-quarter swing, fouls it off down the third base side to even the count 1-1. Jorge Gonzalez trying to keep the deficit at Grand Slam range. 5-1, the Owls on top as Perez lays off a fastball upstairs for ball 2. And this is almost the dog days, the meat grinder at bats in a ball game if you're the Owls. You don't want to give these away in a 4-run game. 2-1. And Perez just gets under this. Just missed it in right center field. Heron Jr. will find it. And a hold Bouchard at second with a good throw in, 2 away.
Yeah, with a runner on second and 2 outs. This is where you got your first run of the ball game. 2 outs and a runner at second.
And with 2 away and Nick Michaels due up, who's 3 for 3, Dave Clark is going to go to the bullpen, I think.
Well,
looks like he made the motion, but this is a long conversation with Gonzalez, and indeed, the Chukars will go to the pen for the second time. A pitching change as we step aside with 2 away in the bottom of the 7th. Right-hander Jacob Bogaz will take over his second appearance of the series and his 20th of the year for the 24-year-old in the Idaho Falls bullpen. 1-1 with an 8.27 earned run average, and his last time out was on Tuesday night. He threw an inning and a third, allowed just 1 hit, walked 1 and struck out 4, and he was the only Idaho Falls pitcher on Tuesday night to not surrender a run in that 24-4 drubbing.
that's a little bit of a feather in your cap. Not one that you'll really go around bragging about.
Hey, Mom, I threw an inning and a third scoreless.
Well, maybe to his parents.
Yeah, that's
not in the clubhouse.
Not in the clubhouse. Yeah, I get what you're saying. You're not after a 21 run. Wow, that was a sentence. After a 20-run loss, you're not walking around the dugout strutting your stuff.
Hey, I was the guy who didn't give up any of those.
That's a good way to get yourself kicked out of the clubhouse.
You'll not earn much favor amongst your teammates if you did that. Well, Bogaz is going to get to face a tough task indeed. Nick Michaels, who's 3 for 3 on the night with 2 RBIs.
Yeah, I'll tell you what'll get you some fans in the clubhouse. Stranding a 2-out inherited runner.
That will go a long way, yes.
It's been mentioned Michaels singled in the second, an RBI single in the fourth, and an RBI ground rule double in the fifth.
Because we haven't had enough of those that series.
We
another
had
ground rule double.
We had none last night. Bogaz misses up and away, and the count's 2-0. First game all series. And you know what's funny is I feel like as the season has progressed, we've seen more and more and more of those. The first 2-3 series of the year, we were concerned that would be a running thing, and it wasn't, and so we just forgot about it. And all of a sudden, it's become a major element. It's Michaels in the driver's seat ahead 3-0. Let's see if the take is on. 3-0 from Bogaz. Indeed, it was. The get me over strike catches the bottom of the zone at 90 miles an hour for strike 1. Bogaz gets the sign. 3-1 delivery. And Michaels, a ground ball base hit. It's an infield single. Boning's throw across is late. A 4-for-4 night for Nick Michaels.
Yeah, have a night, Nick Michaels. He came into this game just 3 for 14 in his career with the Owls, but 4 for 4 tonight, 7 for 18 now. So he's up over 300. And for the series, it's going to be 6 for 11.
So Josh Glenn will bat with runners on the corners and 2 away. Trying to extend that hitting streak, 0 for 3 tonight. And both he and Bogaz played at UNC, but they just missed each other.
Let's go Bears.
Bogaz played there as a freshman in 2018, and Josh's career did not start there until 2019 after a year at junior college. Thank you very much. Ball 2.
Once again, that's that north-south kind of being squeezed. That one in the strike zone, well within the strike zone, according to our automated one that we get to look up.
Here Glenn rolls the ball to Boning. It's short. He'll underhand it the short way to second, and that will retire the side in the bottom of the 7th. The Owls put 2 on base but cannot score them on a hit and an error. We'll head to the 8th. 5-1, Owls on top. The Owls go to the bullpen as Dalton Ross will get the 8th inning. Draves, if we tracked him, would get a hold for the 7th. A sign-arming right-hander called into action again. And when you're pitching well, that tends to happen. First pitch swung on and missed for strike 1 by Frechette. Ross 0-0 with a 5.14 earned run average. This is his 6th appearance out of the bullpen this year as he misses down and in to even the count 1-1 to Frechette, who's 0 for 1 with a flyout and a walk tonight. 1-1, Frechette, a one-hopper to Robertson at short. He'll fire a missile across the diamond in time for the first out. 1 up, 1 down. Last time out for Dalton Ross. He threw an inning and 2/3 on Thursday, allowed just 1 hit, 1 walk, and struck out 3. He was the bridge between Mark Tyndall and closer Corey Wills in the 4-1 Northern Colorado win. And, man, that slider from the sidearm angle, vicious. Boning reaches out, fouls it off out of play down the first base line. That foul ball was clean out of there, presented by Breeze Through Car Wash. Ross, a 3-pitch mix, slider, curveball, and splitter. And he just misses up and in for ball 1 to Brandon Boning, who has had a phenomenal series but held quiet tonight, 0 for 2. The 1-2. Boning drives the ball, skies it into the left field corner. George over towards the line, makes the catch for out number 2. Two up, 2 down for Mark Herron Jr. Chukars center fielder 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out swinging in the first, struck out swinging in the third, and grounded out to first in the 6th. And Dalton Ross, keep bringing it, young fella. Swing and a miss for strike 1 from Herron Jr. Ross misses down and in, upset with himself. Missed his spot there. He is very quickly in this series becoming a menace to society. 1-1, Herron Jr. dribbles a slow roller off the end of the bat, foul. Oh man, he wants the ball from Josh Glenn. He's ready to go.
Yeah, Ross is the sort of pitcher that the pitch clock has very little effect on.
1-2 on the way from the side armor, and Herron Jr. lobs the ball to deep right field. De La O at the track. He makes the catch right in front of the White Claw sign. 1-2-3. The Chukars down in order in the 8th, but not without a scare. 5-1 Owls on top. Red Zone No-Co, located at 500 Main Street in Windsor, is a proud sponsor of the Northern Colorado Owls. Red Zone offers 1-hour group fitness sessions that help burn more calories than your typical gym workout. Get in the zone at Red Zone No-Co. Bottom of the 8th, the Owls, I think, looking for maybe 1 or 2 more insurance runs. Get this one out of slam range before the 9th. 5-1. No-Co on top again. The Owls searching for their second 5-game winning streak of the year. Or no, it is their first. I can't read my own notes.
That's okay.
Happens to the best of us.
At least you have notes.
They took 5 of 6 earlier in the season at one point, but it was not all consecutively. As Estevan De La O, for seemingly every inning, he's leading off. I don't get how that happens. The number 9 hitter leads off another inning. He led off the 5th. He led off the 6th, and now he's going to lead off the 8th. He led off the 3rd, too.
Well, that basically turns Henry George into the 3-hole hitter, which is not a bad problem to have.
I was going to say, not a bad spot for Henry.
No.
Yeah, De La O has led off as many innings. In fact, he's led off more innings than the leadoff hitter, Peyton Robertson, tonight.
Peyton Robertson led off the first.
Yeah, that's been it.
I kept track of that one.
De La O fouls the 1-0 pitch back. Wins the count 1-1. Now, Dalton Ross, a scoreless 8th, and one would imagine if the score stays where it is with Paller, Dunn, and Acosta due up in the 9th, we may see Corey Wills. De La O drag bunt down the third base line. Just rolled foul, and with the turbo jets attached to his left and right legs, it's not a bad idea for De La O.
No, not when you're trying to scratch across one more. At least one more. I put up 12 for all they could care.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure the Owls would be happy with a very, very, very crooked, more lopsided than the Leaning Tower of Pisa type of number here. 1-2 from Bogaz. Slider down and away, misses, evens the count 2-2. Everybody playing well back on the infield now with 2 strikes. The bunt no longer available on the menu. 2-2 curveball locks up De La O for strike 3. And the throw down, Frechette got a little excited, airmailed it into left field.
You know, that's one where if you're Frechette, there's nowhere to hide.
It happens to the best of us. To be fair, it was a beautiful curveball from Bogaz.
It was. Excellent curveball. Started it in the upper part of the zone and dropped it just on the outside black of the paint.
Here Bogaz tries to go back to the well and misses for ball 1 to Peyton Robertson. 0 for 3 tonight with a walk is Payday. 1-0. Robertson swings out of his shoot tops at strike 1 at the bottom of the zone. And you have to wonder if maybe some of that is Payday pressing. 0 for 4 last night. And in his last 11 plate appearances does not have a hit, which when you come into a series batting over .330 and you lead the league in stolen bases, that feels like an eternity. Especially in a series where the offense has been as hot as it is, as Bogaz misses at the top of the zone. And there has been less room at the top of the zone than when you're trying to practice cursive in elementary school. Those little dotted lines that you try and work it into. Do they even do that anymore in schools, or is it typing now? 3-1 to Robertson.
We did both.
Well,
So
see,
I can do cursive and I can type.
I only write in cursive. I had
And
one of
you
those
can't type.
I had one of those teachers that was like, you'll have to use this everywhere, and so I did. And now no one writes in cursive anymore. Robertson, look out! Hockey shot right up the middle at Bogaz. I have no idea how that did not hit him.
I don't either. It had to have gone under his glove hand.
In hockey, we would call that right through the 6 hole.
Yeah.
Right between the arm and the body.
That one, a rocket up the middle, 98 miles an hour on the return to sender. And, well, we were talking about Peyton Robertson looking for a way to get on base. He's on base here with that plus speed. We'll see if there's anything going on.
First pitch catches the right-handed batter's box for strike 1 to Henry George. King Henry 1 for 2 tonight with a walk and a hit by pitch. Bogaz wants Frechette to run through the signs again. Gets one he likes. There goes Robertson. Throw down late. Stolen base number 41 for the league leader in that category.
That's Peyton Robertson for you. Base hit back up the middle, and all of a sudden, it turns into a one-out double thanks to the stolen base.
I'm still waiting for him to go full Billy Hamilton and just steal, or I guess it's Ellie De La Cruz, just steal his way around the bases. As George fouls that pitch off down the left field line. 1-2. Again, I think the thing that makes Robertson so good is very typically, he just gets such a phenomenal read. And he gets another good one. George swinging away. It's a ground ball to Boning at short. The throw over to first in time. Cullen able to keep his foot on the bag. Peyton moves to third, and there's 2 away for Dave Matthews.
Well, like you said, that was another excellent, excellent jump from Peyton Robertson. It's not going to go down as a stolen base because of the ground ball to short, but it's hard to imagine he wouldn't have been standing on third had that ball not been put in play. That'll bring up Dinger Dave, 1 for 4 on the night.
Matthews, a ground out to first in the first, a ground out to second in the third, a 2-run triple. That is the difference right now. Push the Owls out in front 2-1 in that 5th inning. Or 3-1 in that 5th inning. I can add. I promise. Here Matthews swinging down and away, missing. And it's 0-2. And you can start to see Matthews pressing just a little bit at the plate.
Yeah, that one well out of the strike zone on the fastball. You can tell he wants nothing more than to lift a ball right here. And with an 0-2 count, he's got to get a bit more loose with his approach. Take what the pitcher gives you.
Good eye on the off speed down and in. Gets back in the count at 1-2. Bogues. Robertson tried to scamper, draw throw on the third base line. It's 2-2 now to Matthews. And Bogues has a little bit of a Kevin Durant shimmy before he gets set. Then he looks down, and Robertson might have taken advantage of that there as Matthews is swinging a foul tip on the curveball for strike 3. And that will do it for the bottom of the 8th. A 1-out base hit, stranded at third. We'll head to the top of the 9th. The Owls 3 outs away from a 5-game win streak. The Owls get another scoreless inning from their bullpen in the 8th, and they'll turn to closer Corey Wills to slam the door shut on the Chukars.
Yeah, for Corey Wills, the closer for this Owls team. He has 8 saves on the season with a 3-2 record, a 6.67 ERA below league average. He's thrown 27 innings so far this season in 26 games, 43 punch-outs to just 14 walks and 36 hits. For him, just a 2-pitch mix on the fastball and the slider. And for Wills, his last time out wasn't too long ago, just 2 nights ago, where he went in innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and 2 punch-outs as he looks to shut down this game.
1 save in the series already for Wills, and that last appearance, as Ben mentioned, sealed the 4-1 win for Northern Colorado. 1-0 from Corey. Misses up and in with the fastball to Rob Paller. The Owls have not won 5 in a row all year, and it could not come at a better time. As we mentioned, with a win tonight, Grand Junction doing us a favor. They will move into a tie for first place in the South Division. 2-1 the count to Rob Paller, who's 0 for 3 tonight, with a couple of groundouts and a lineout.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were talking about at the top of this broadcast. This stretch of what's looking like could be 5 wins in a row for the Owls couldn't have come at a better time, because now entering the second half of the season, they have the opportunity to be at the top looking down and with a full head of confidence moving forward.
3-1 the count from Wills to Paller. Kicks and fires. Paller a ground ball base hit between first and second into right field, and the leadoff runner aboard here in the top of the ninth.
It's a definition of a seeing eye single. That one not hit hard off the bat, but couldn't have placed it any better if he tried in between first and second base, just to sneak it on through.
You don't have to hit it hard. You just have to hit it right.
Hit them where they ain't. That's the tried and true baseball approach.
First pitch strike from Wills to C.J. Dunn. He is the Idaho Falls offense tonight. A solo home run in the first. That has been all. Just 2 other runners have reached scoring position tonight for Idaho Falls. Another shutdown effort from the Owls pitching staff. The appeal down to first. Dunn does not swing. And the count even 1-1.
And that's the old adage right there. Solo shots won't kill you. Yeah, you gave up the home run in this one. You've lost the home run battle, but you'd rather win the ultimate war.
1-1, and C.J. Dunn lifts a fly ball into the left field corner. It is deep. George is back, up against the wall, and it's off the wall. It is a long, long, long single to left.
Yeah, can't have much longer of a run if you're Henry George running after that one in left field. And that's one you can kind of see down those lines. It gets a little bit darker in the corners, a little bit harder to track the ball. And with a runner now at second base, Josh Glenn's going to go out and talk over some signs and give a little bit of a, here we go, you got this, to his buddy out on the hill.
Well, and I wonder here if you're Eduardo Acosta, if you don't think about bunting. Nobody out, runners at first and second, move them over, get out of the double play. You need 4, and you don't very well want to hit or run your way out of an inning. Working into the heart of the order here.
Yeah, and it's all righties here on out till you get back to the top of the order in that Chukars lineup.
First pitch from Wills misses for ball 1. Acosta has not faced Wills yet in this series. Well, blank slate for both of these guys here.
It's also going to be Acosta's first full at-bat. He drew a walk after entering for Michael Cohn. He's the last time up. So 0 for 0 on the night.
In the driver's seat here, ahead 2-0. Oh, man, a ground ball would be some kind of nice right here for the Owls closer. 2-0, get me over fastball, does the job, and it's 2-1. Owls trying to close out the win here tonight. They were down 1-0, headed to the fourth, tied it at 1, then put up 4 in the bottom of the fifth, and that's been all the offense. 2-1, Acosta fouls it straight back, and it's 2-2.
2 straight strikes for the Owls closer. Gets him back even in the set count.
Wills gets the sign from Glenn. Delivers on 2-2. Misses down and in for ball 3. Acosta ducking out of the way in case anybody tried to head to third. Big old grin on his face as well. And the count is full.
Yeah, just don't get in the way. No reason to cause any interference should there be a play.
Acosta fouls off the 3-2 fastball. We'll stick around and get another pitch.
Yeah, we said he entered in for Michael Cohn just in a couple innings ago, and he's already put together 2 really good at-bats. He inherited a strike in his first at-bat, drew the walk on a full count.
Payoff pitch from Wills to Acosta. Popped him up, and that'll get fouled out of play into the right field bleachers. And Acosta, no better time for one of them professional at-bats than right here, right now.
Yeah, giving life to this Chukars team. Gotta go to your best pitch here.
Slider, ground ball to third. Michaels will go to second for 1. The turn to first, a double play. 5-4-3. And it doesn't get any more crucial than that. Wills rolls a twin killing, and the Chukars are down to their final out.
Well, he went to his best pitch, and it was the best pitch he's thrown so far this evening. An excellent slider down and in to Acosta, who rolls over it to third. And now you go from nobody out and a runner in scoring position to 2 outs. And a runner on third.
Fastball, strike 1 from Wills to Halsema. And this is, for Halsema, in this series, the 3rd time that he has been the man up with 2 away in the 9th. Ground ball up the middle. Roberts into his left. Collects and throws. That is the sound of 5 straight wins for the Owls. They have moved into a tie for first place in the South Division. Northern Colorado finishing with 5 runs on 10 hits, 3 errors, and they strand 10 runners on base. Jose Diaz, phenomenal, throws 6+ innings and gets the win. The right-hander Diaz on the season improving to 2-4. Corey Wills with a scoreless 9th gets his league-leading 9th save of the season, allowing just 1 hit in the 9th. On the other side, Idaho falls, losing again. They fall to 2-8 in the second half, and they are 17-41 overall this year. The Chukars finish with just 1 run on 4 hits. They also have 2 errors and leave 4 runners on base. Dylan Gatto goes 4 innings and gets tagged with the loss. He falls to 1-3. The Owls will look for a 6-game sweep here tomorrow afternoon. First pitch at 1:05. On behalf of color commentator and technical director extraordinaire Ben Shoemate, Brendan Price signing off. The Owls win their 5th in a row, a 5-1 win tonight over Idaho Falls.